May 22nd, 2011 was a Sunday afternoon. I was watching the radar on my iPad and dialed into NWS chat with the National Weather Service, and things started to look like they might get kind of dicey. We went under a tornado watch about 1:30 that afternoon, so I went down to the Emergency Operations Center here in downtown Joplin.
Normal Sunday, sun was out. We could tell that there was some storms, kind of on the horizon, but I never, when it's Sunday, you're not paying attention to the news, you're not paying attention to the weather, you're out doing your thing. I had the grill going, I was mowing grass, and I could tell there was some storm, kind of activity, and then the sirens blew. So it blows over, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and it was, did you hear that Home Depot just got hit with a tornado? And I'm like, oh my gosh, because my aunt, who is at the time 65, single lady, lives a block from Home Depot. And so I grab my keys, I jump in our car, and I'm driving. And then by the time I got, within 2 or 3 miles of her house, I could tell that this was a significant event.
We had a lot of people show up wanting to volunteer, which we appreciated. We had search and rescue people out all night long trying to figure out what was going on. And we ended up with statistics are, pretty straightforward. 161 people dead, over 1,200 injured. We don't really know exactly how many. Some 550 businesses, 7,500 homes were destroyed. We had 435 separate response agencies show up, totaling about 5,000 responders. We did search and rescue, honestly, all throughout the week, but we found our last live persons on Tuesday afternoon.
So I get to her house, and as I'm walking up to her house, I can see her coming out of her basement. She's, she is in kind of a shock, and she's a lady that's not ultra mobile, and so I knew that it was going to be a complicated thing getting her out. So take her back the path I came, over the trees, over the telephone poles, paused twice. One was to help people lower a gentleman that was sitting in his living room as it hit in a wheelchair, and his face was bloody and he was having a hard time breathing. And I'm sitting here saying this gentleman is basically had no place to go other than to watch it come.
The first indication we had that there was a catastrophic tornado was when a gentleman walked into our emergency department kind of holding his abdomen. And when our nurse got closer, she saw that his insides were visible. And she asked him, "Oh my gosh, what happened to you, sir?" And he said, "It was the tornado." And that was our first clue that a catastrophic event had occurred. And then, of course, shortly thereafter, people came in throngs. We did 22 life-saving surgeries within the first 12 hours.
And then we continued to search. We did a complete sweep of the city, east to west and west to east, depending on the day. So our Sunday through Friday night. And then we took a little break and we came back in on Monday morning and started getting out the front end loaders and the dozers and digging up stuff. We didn't find anybody else after that. So we were quite pleased with, we had pretty well found all of our victims, both live and otherwise, during that initial week.
I was the mayor pro tem during the 5-year, and that was we spent a lot of time remembering who we lost, and we spent a lot of time remembering what we lost, and a little bit of time thinking about what good came out of it. The 10-year to me is more of an equal weight. Let's spend equal amount of energy, equal amount of time thinking and appreciating what we lost, who we lost, and let's be reverent to that. But now it's starting to really gravitate towards look at what's been born out of this. We're going to have our event at Cunningham Park, which is kind of the memorial epicenter for the tornado for the city. And just right across the street, just to the south of that, is a brand new park called Mercy Park. It's named after Mercy Hospital, where the hospital was. And in that park, there's a brand new there's a rotary sculpture garden with brand new bronze sculptures in there. We just have a lot of resources that have been poured into that area. That's really kind of, if you ever want to say, well, what is Joplin, how has Joplin responded? That's a great area to go look at, with a brand new senior center, a brand new elementary school, a brand new early education center, and a lot of resources that have been poured into that corner of our town.
I think it's important to note that Joplin is still here. We did not lose population, but we've gained some. Businesses are back. We had 10 schools damaged, about 5 or 6 of them were destroyed. They've all been repaired and or replaced. And the area still shows some of the damage. We still have about 8% of the land that has not been totally recovered. But by the same token, we've got 92% that has been. And so I think it is a good example of what can be done when people throw themselves into the effort. FEMA has used Joplin as an example of what to do. Fortunately, our list of things that went well is much longer than our list of things that did not go well.
Yeah, the overall legacy of the tornado to Joplin is it's good and bad. A lot of people, when I travel and I say I'm from Joplin, the first thing they associate my town with is a tragedy that happened, a natural disaster, an absolute defined disaster. And so I think our legacy is one that has kind of the scrapes and the scars from the past, but then also I also think it showcased our grit, determination, and ability to respond to a challenge in a very positive way. And so I think that sometimes our worst experiences that we've gone through kind of help us grow into the person we're going to be. And I would say the same thing for a town. Yeah, well, we're going to have bad things happen to us. Now, how do you respond to them? And that really kind of showcases, your true character.